Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Wednesday, the 26th, the day before Thanksgiving. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about the only time your business grows is when you grow. And it seems pretty reasonable, but I've seen too many guys and gals in business become comfortable. And that's usually where their ceiling is, okay? So, stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. If you didn't already know it, yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Wednesday, the 26th of November, 2025. Yes. So, what are we talking about today? I'm talking about that when you shut yourself off from learning new things and changing things up and trying to become better at things, your shop does the same. So if you become complacent and you're just sitting around in your comfort zone, good chances are you're not growing. And why do I say that? Because if I'm not uncomfortable when I'm doing things, then that tells me that I'm not learning either. It's something that I already know. Okay? And in order for your business to grow, it needs to grow with you. And the more things you learn, the more things you take on that are outside your comfort zone, the better equipped you are to grow your business. We can take a case in point. Okay, let's say you just work on strictly push mowers. I know this is in a simplistic form that I can do, but let's just say that that is your forte is push mowers. But a customer brings you a rider and says, "Can you work on that?" And you're comfortable where you're at working on push mowers and you're good at it. So you tell the customer, no, we only do push mowers. Now, are you going to continue to grow or not? You probably not. You're going to be in that mode with the push mowers. Unless you're inundated with so many push mowers, you don't have time to do the other stuff. That's fine. But most of us aren't. Most of us have to say, okay, not only are we going to do push mowers, but yes, let's take on riders, but it's a learning curve, and we have to figure out what it is that we have to do to that rider to make sure that it's going to run and operate as good as those push mowers that we're pushing out. The person in the business that says, okay, let's take on the riders and try that and learn as we go. It's a learning curve, but it's something that we can do. We're not stupid. Nobody's stupid. It's whether they want to learn it or not. Okay? So the person grows, the business grows because they've decided to take on the riding lawnmowers. All right. Don't stop there. What about weed trimmers? What about chainsaws? What about each one you add? If you even look back, if you have a business already, when you added that line to work on those things, what took place? You were out of your comfort zone because you were learning how to do something else. And that goes and it gets stored, right? And the more you do it, the more you work on these things, the easier it gets. And then you can get like Jason, like you know, blindfolded and taking a carburetor apart and put it back together. Voila. Most of us aren't there yet. But it's a learning curve. And it has to be something that you want to do. Not have to. Because what I found in life is if I have to do something, I'm already set at a negative tone to start with. I'm not a happy camper, right? So it's all in your approach as well. It's if you're open to learning new things and growing, your business is going to grow along beside you because you're offering more offerings that you can do to bring in more income. Yes, there's a limit too to how much work you can actually do in a given year. And when it comes to work, the ones of us that are in the business already know that we need to do a great job every time, consistent, and we need to have it done in the shortest amount of time possible. But the saying in our shop is, it'll be done when it gets done, and no sooner. And why do we use that terminology? Because in the past we've gotten in a rush and took shortcuts unknowingly just to get it out. I thought that this one did it, and they thought that one did it, and nobody got it done. And in the end, what did it do? It gave us a bad reputation because we didn't keep our standards up high, because we were pushing to get stuff done. You never want to get into that situation. Don't let customers rush you any faster than what it takes to do the job. If you're waiting on parts, the best you can tell them is you're waiting on parts. Be honest with them. It is what it is. But every time you take on something, and it's not just business, it's in your personal life too. Every time you try something new, you grow, right? You expand your knowledge base. It's like water skiing. You first start out water skiing and you're sucking in more water through your lungs because your mouth is being like a waterfall thing because you're trying to get up onto your feet. But once you figure out that you got to let the boat pull you up and keep your legs straight and allow the engine to bring you up on the plane, once you've done that, now it's just staying upright, right? And I was always one that I could do like the 2 skis, and once in a while I get on the 1. But my brother was a show off. He could do the flips with him and all that other crap. I was content with learning how to get off my ass and not having my mouth sucking in all the water when I was a kid. And riding on too. But each time I took on something new, it took me outside my comfort level. And that's why I started the video saying that if you're not outside your comfort level on a regular basis, you are not learning. Because if you're not uncomfortable learning something new, then technically you're not learning. You're not growing. Or you're brain dead. One of the 3. So what do you do if you want to increase your learning potential and your business? You focus on stuff that revolves around the business itself. And that is, look at other shops and see what they offer. Maybe buying used equipment, fixing it up, reselling it might be another added thing. Doing floor planning, that's to each their own. Carrying new inventory, depending on, you gotta be careful because it gets outdated fast now. Taking on different divisions outside the lawn and garden, get into the side-by-sides, the ATVs, UTVs. That's a big growing market. Snowmobiles is another market. You guys decide what you want and where you want to grow. And make sure it's something that you enjoy doing. The first few that you do are going to be the first few that you do are going to be hard because it's something new. Take your time and just use your mechanical skills to break it down to figure out what's going on with that machine. Don't be afraid to use YouTube. Don't be afraid to use Google AI. And don't be afraid to call another shop that you've made it a friend and say, have you ever encountered this? Because once you figure it out, you have grown. And once you figured it out and you can take on that as more business, then the shop will grow. The other option is bring in somebody that is younger, that is good with side by sides and UTVs, and have them do that aspect of the business so that the business can grow. You don't have to learn everything. You've got employees or you've got people that are mechanics that are doing stuff. Hiring the right person will bring in that whole segment as long as they know what they're doing and that they're willing to hold their standards as high as you are as a business owner. I've had them come in and have no standards when it comes to the quality of the work that was going out. They were just there to collect the paycheck. And if the paycheck wasn't there, then they weren't going to be there. Period. They weren't happy with the job either. So they didn't last long. Off you go. Because I want you to have the same quality work that I put out. That I want put up because my name is stamped on it. Another one is the equipment, rentals and stuff like that. You know, skid steers, mini excavators. The world is yours. How big do you want to grow, and what key people do you want to pull in to help you grow in that area? Today's short video, the dogs are barking, the kids are showing up for hunting and stuff. So I'm going to cut it short here. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if I'll have a message for you. I may have. Fear not. And you guys have a great day.